awesome. Whether you're a world-class athlete or a podcaster, we all understand the importance of mental and physical well-being and proper recovery for top-notch performance. That's why I'm excited that Unified Healing is sponsoring this episode of 755 Forever. Unified Healing is a new and super innovative global network of wellness centers powered by Energy Enhancement System, or EE System. If you haven't heard of the EE System yet, you'll want to listen up. This technology promotes wellness,
and then they announced Zach Short trade right after that. They got Zach Short from Cash Considerations too, from the Red Sox. And somebody said, well, if they had redundancy before, they just got it again. But no, this guy's Zach Short, the Braves view him as a really good, pure defensive shortstop.
The Blues Brothers would pull in and park somewhere. They'd come in and like hit the brakes and spin the car 360 degrees and it would slide in parallel park.
Christ,
like,
man.
I like that.
Everybody they're gonna fucking just run shit.
I kind of want to like do the version of that when I land because they didn't see all that shit I did up there. I mean,
so that I'm elected. That's what he means. Like, well, yeah, you gotta follow your heart, but you also gotta get elected. So you have to say the thing in order to get elected. He's saying what we all know. All things say whatever they need to get elected, which he obviously does. And he's saying that he's not really. He's just signaling that he's not really like
asshole
100% on anything he says. And we'll roll it back as soon as the nuclear submarine deal with the Australians. How the fuck is that coming up in these conversations? Like, that's not your talking.
I have voted in every election the past 20 years on AUKUS. Always have.
The AUKUS caucus. We're the AUKUS caucus. The ship has sailed on getting credit from these things. Voters are like, we don't care.
I wholeheartedly agree with you. And so, prior to the debate, my main line was that I very rarely talk about Donald Trump and Joe Biden in the same sentence.
There's not enough meat on some of those bones in certain areas, but small critique in the grand scheme of an just incredible DLC.
It was an artistic choice, Matt, to make you contemplate the vast emptiness of life.
What the fuck are you doing?
Of your soul, yeah. Honestly, with it's another. Was his Hideo? Who's the game director?
So what happened was right when I got him, I took him for a walk, and like we didn't know each other very well, and he was already skittish to begin with, very skittish. And I had just got a samurai sword. I was checking my mail. I got my samurai sword in one hand. I got my fucking Belgian attack dog in the other, and I'm checking the mail.
Does more miracle claims make it more or less likely that the miracle claims in the gospel are true? I would say, like, beyond just claims, like, if we grant that those claims are true, like, let's say we do observe miracles, that makes the claims in the gospel less extraordinary and therefore more likely.
Does the claim that Alexander the Great is the son of the goddess Artemis make Jesus more likely to be the son of God?
No.
Well, I'm so glad you decided to get in the fucking left lane when you could have just gotten in this fucking lane and sped the fuck up.
Yeah.
Asshole.
Okay. I was gonna say, like, the claim that Jesus healed a leper, that a man was healed miraculously of his leprosy after a religious experience, is less likely in the context of Sister Bernadette being healed from
Go to a fucking casket.
Our Lady
Way
of
to
the
go, man.
That's the thing I'm making. When it comes to
hated it and was grossed out by me, or was like, oh, what a disgusting wiener this loser has. I would be so self-conscious about me and the whole process and feel like I was doing something wrong, even if I ordered it off a menu. And you know what I mean? It would say, I'd go to the back.
Saying everything is above board, it's legal, everyone's consensual, it's all good, it's on the menu. I would just, I don't.
I'd be like, I'm not very hungry this. Here's the menu.
In a million years, I could never do it.
Yeah.
I'd just be like, just the normal, please.
So you'd want it surprised.
I'll just have a regular ending, please.
Yeah, I'd have to go for the regular ending. Unless they just, you know, sometimes you get a haircut and they just trim your eyebrows?
No, I don't.
You never had that?
Never Monday morning podcast for Monday, August 12th, 2024. What's going on?
Brother,
Yeah.
I'm going 60 and a fucking 45.
How's it going?
You need to
How's it going in your world? Are you
fucking...
all right? Is everything fine with you? Are you watching the last day of the Olympics? Congratulations to the USA men's basketball team winning the gold medal. God damn it. Which we should. Because, you know, it was actually invented, the game was invented by a white man in Springfield, Massachusetts. You know? So anybody who isn't white and from Massachusetts, specifically Springfield, is culturally appropriating
Jesus Christ, man.
the white man's game. Anyway, fucking around here. I watched a lot of the Olympics this time. I was amazed, because I have not watched in a long time. I was amazed at the amount of shit. The amount of sports you can play during the summer. I mean, who knew? Who the fuck knew? And I'll tell you, ping pong and birdie are fucking, they're insane. Like watching the fucking speed of those games. So I've been like watching all of these clips of it.
Boy, the first one to the fucking red light.
On the fucking Instagram, because evidently I'm never gonna.
Oh God, it's been so hard too. We talked about we talked about the FOMO of missing out on work recordings, you know, and you guys have been prolific since I've been gone. Like every once in a while I'll hop on your Discord and I'll be like, oh, you guys recorded 7 heist videos today. Oh, that's cool. Oh, you guys recorded a whole new show that looks really fun. That sounds awesome. And meanwhile, I've been fucking coughing up a lung.
Have a job saving people or killing people? Saving people. All right, so I guess we're talking about, like, do you want to be Delta Force or do you want to be a heart surgeon? Because you just like
fucking Christ. It's not that fucking important, brother.
Dude, I'd rather be in the Delta Force. I watched some of those podcasts where those guys were talking about what their job was, and they're like, yeah, the Navy SEALs are orange.
Fuck.
Oh, I shouldn't have mocked them. I didn't say it, I really thought it, but yeah, I was like, oh, this is where they all were.
Why are we waiting to go?
Brandon, who always had boogers, was like behind the piano trying to talk me out.
What was it? That's so funny how you remember shit like that. I remember there was this kid named Dalton, and he played on my soccer team when I was like 5, and my dad played soccer in college, and so he like would step in and like do the coaching for us at a young age sometimes. And I just remember him being like, Taylor, because Dalton didn't go to our school, but he still played on the team. He's like, hey, go say hi to Dalton. And like this kid was like already running up to me, and I've never seen more boogers on a face.
Brother!
This kid's first impression, like not a hanger, like full of just boogers all over him. And to this day, when I think about that kid, who I have not seen in 25 years, I'm like, oh, Dalton, the booger kid, the kid that was covered in booger. I remember this one girl.
What are we waiting for?
I think this is a common experience in grade school. Maybe we've even touched on it, but you would just be sitting there, and I was never this kid. But you'd be sitting there in class doing your little like multiplication tables, and then some kid 2 desks away would just
asshole
and just like throw up all over their paper. And I
touch that. I want to move on now to race and politics in this country. Mr. President, you recently said of Vice President Harris, quote, I didn't know she was black until a number of years ago when she happened to turn black, and now she wants to be known as black. What? I want to ask a bigger picture question here tonight.
Nick's street. Oh wait, they were out of breakfast food. That's bacon is breakfast food. Bacon is breakfast food. But so that was the mush in it. That mush isn't on this list. It's cheap. What do you mean? The meat, the mystery meat. Oh, it's just the regular. That's what's in their taco. That's in the monster-sized crispy taco. Yeah, that's just. I get it. It's just weird. You list all the ingredients. Except the meat.
Response from the American political class is just like a collective shrug or active cheerleading. Hey, keep going. You're getting the bad guys. Way to go. I don't think I could have imagined, well, that we would be sitting here with the number of countries that have already been embroiled in this.
You're making your future. You're making now, from his perspective. I feel like you let God send people to help. Yeah, that's done. As far as he's concerned.
The fuck are you doing, you stupid fucking bitch?
You do believe that there is a hell, but because you believe that all of eternity is in the same instance for God, that it's not like a sequential thing, it's just all in the same, but there is a hell that people do go through.
Fucking
Zay Squirrel said, Matt Damon destroys Elon Musk's deranged neoliberal worldview in 1 minute. Here, let's take a listen.
In acting, there isn't job security, right? There's an incentive to work hard and be a better actor because you want to have a job, so why isn't it like that?
And he's like, the thing is, the subsequent spins are 1 hour 9 minutes because the tungsten is driving into the steel. So we need to have a tungsten plate with a tungsten top to spin on, and he just, I don't know what his goal is, 1 hour and a half or something, but he spins it with his fingers. And it spins really.
And then he could break free. Maybe that's what's going on. Oh, by the way, can we talk about this on the show? Some people aren't going to like me saying this. The college playoff has been a fucking absolute disaster.
Red light.
It's a forte, Paul. Come on.
It's a red light.
It's terrible. Paul, give him a fucking break. Okay? What is Thursday night football? Is that good? No. No.
It is the Because I'm the cool one, and they fucking know it. And I you know, lets my wife know. Sometimes it's good to remind them. It's good to fucking remind them who the fucking easy
fuck is your problem? You really need to get the fucking
ass. I'm fucking because that Scandinavians are cold. They're fucking.
You voted for the biggest fucking idiot that gives no fucks about you or anything about you.
Jesus, man.
Because the big defense is, well, hold on, Trump genuinely and sincerely thinks that he won. Therefore, to some extent, this is justified because it comes from a pure place. This is what a lot of people say. Well, I'm about to prove to you, number one, he does not believe that he won, not by any stretch of the imagination. Number two, they knew what they were doing was illegal every step of the way. So Trump acknowledged to one of his co-conspirators, co-conspirator 3, that the rigged election claims that he was putting out there all the time were, quote, crazy.
That's the other
Trump acknowledged it was crazy. When he tried to get Mike Pence.
They outproduced us by like a factor of 10. I don't know what to do. And then they just run over your base.
It's funny we can make a game that's literally, I don't know how to micro, but I can sure macro you to oblivion, so...
Yes. It's a macro game for sure.
That is not an entrance.
Like, you can micro for fun, but as soon as you get caught up in like managing the battle, you're like, oh, I just annihilated his army. You're like, wait, what's that on the horizon?
It's essentially a macro game where you are microing your base building to make sure that it's the macro is powerful or strong enough to
don't fucking poke up on him.
Does that make a little bit of sense?
Yeah, totally. It's almost like
you could just see.
You sent the text. I was like, this is perfect. Yeah. Getting from everything. I was going to say, it was very funny. If any of us was going to.
What are we waiting for?
My wife went, what was that? And I went, I told him, call me, you get hit my chin. He already had one. Yeah, so he called me. Yeah. And she went, I don't. And then I also like that he. How should I know what that is? I mean, 151, dude. She doesn't know, right? She doesn't know what that is. She was alive. How do you avoid that? That's like someone going,
fucking
come on, dude. It's like only fucking Pokemon with boxing gloves.
Yeah.
Your wife's lying to you. She's a Poke fan. No, she just drinks Mountain Dew. Call of Duty.
She's a gamer.
Exactly.
I did like that Eric followed up saying I did that, assuming I didn't film it.
Yeah, he did. It was very funny. It was very funny. And then he ended up, he hangs up and he goes, "Oh yeah, bye. I'll lose this number." It's like, you called me. Yeah, and now you got my number, unfortunately. Delete it, please. Please. It's weird with him in the mask. No, it's not.
No, it's normal.
It's very normal.
Yeah.
It's great. If you can watch the YouTube version just for a second, go check it out right now and look at how he's in freak mode in the bottom corner. I'll choose you.
Stupid idiot.
This all started because you talked about how hot sauce is different, and
you dumb motherfucker.
He no for like 3 straight
What you get for being fucking impatient?
I knew stupid asshole.
I knew exactly what was going to happen. It's like, Jordan, I figured, you know, like, it was a fairly uneventful subway trip, so I just like, what we talk about, so I figured, I mean, we only 8 minutes. Oh, we only 8 minutes. We're good.
I've got a truck.
And she was like, let's put this on. I was like, all right, we'll check it out. Apple Cider Vinegar on Netflix is the story of the Australian girl who lied about having cancer.
Oh, I've been getting TikTok clips about this like crazy.
So good. I was like, she explained it. I was like, I can kind of see how this is go. The storytelling, they do it like
stupid asshole.
2008,
fuck?
right onto the I-75 South.
Dumbass.
You could call them roadways, okay? They're water roadways, but some of those areas are opening up, and they're opening up. Icebreakers out there, they're opening up, and by just nature, they're opening up, and they're headed right into China, right into Russia.
But he slips in this thing about how, and so, you know, they have these icebreakers, and in some cases, it's natural. It's happening naturally, is what he says. What's happening naturally is the warming of the planet.
Right, breaking up
He's
icebergs.
referring to naturally the planet getting warmer. Similarly, based Mike Lee, a congressman, adult man, based Mike Lee, shared a picture of Greenland and said something along the lines of, make Greenland green again, use CO2, something along those lines.
Unbelievable.
You're driving on a
the warming of the planet
just
and
pull over.
capitalizing on resources and land.
You've got to
What is
spare.
Jordan Peterson saying that that's not what
fucking
CO2
tire,
does,
brother.
right? I've had to watch so many clips of him saying, well, that's not what CO2 does. If you actually look at concentration of CO2 in the landscape, we've actually had less.
With people who believe that, and how do you not help them understand that opening up these supply lines that have not been used is actually increasing competition?
Yeah, well, I think there's 2 ways to do it. One is where you simply can remind folks that a system where only white men.
What the fuck are you doing, you fucking dumbass?
Top positions, or not even top positions, you know, like a machinist, a manufacturer, right? Like a pilot, a driver, etc.
Fucking run the red
was
lights.
itself a form of affirmative action that diminished competition, right? If you didn't have to compete with anyone but anyone who looked like you, and you know, increasingly now the majority of the country is
like the Vikings was far away from the areas we actually have.
Jesus Christ, brother, pay attention.
I think that to be convincing evidence for me.
Continue for 1 mile.
Is your larynx, your voice box. The fact that I'm able to speak right now is because of my vagus nerve. It's what we call the recurrent laryngeal branch of the vagus nerve. Now, why do we call it recurrent? Well, because it goes all the way from my brain, down my neck, wraps around my aorta, and then goes all the way back up my neck and connects back to my larynx. So it's recurrent because it has to go all the way back up. What the fuck kind of electrician runs a wire from the fuse box out around the swimming pool and back up to your TV? Nobody. That's not an intelligent design.
His manager didn't give him the day off, and he had no choice but to work. We actually kind of want to do this to the monkey, really test his dedication to this art form we're creating right now.
Jesus.
He's work late. We're also garnishing. We're also making it. This guy artisans. I don't understand.
He thinks he's the hamburger emperor. He's looking down at them like, serve me.
Hi, excuse me, why did you serve me a Whopper if you yourself did not enjoy the Whopper?
Are you going to lift and separate my nuts? Is that what we're doing here? A push-up bra for your balls there. Unmatched comfort. MeUndies signature softer than soft ultra modal fabric is breathable, stretchy, and oh so comfy, making it ideal for all-day wear.
Gavin, what nationality his taste buds think he is?
Oh, for
And
fuck's sake,
FedEx.
Jesus fucking Christ, bro.
Yeah, I think it's just what I grew up on, and I'll be honest, I think food in America looks better than it tastes. I think that's America. America looks better than it tastes.
Yeah, professional drivers, by the way.
Really gotta pay attention.
Someone fucked up.
Started to that. Let's talk to, I'll start off strong with John, pronouns he, him, calling in from Ornery Hyenas, who is a theist who wants to talk about slavery in the Old Testament. Looks like that's what he called in about last time as well, so this is an ongoing thing. John, how are you doing today?
Let's go, man. Way too fast and lost control. Yeah, bitch just fucking ran a red light.